I just watched an interview with Colonel de Bretton-Gordon in which he draws a striking analogy between modern events in Europe and the events of the late 1930s, when the Czech Republic, Edvard Beneš, was pressured by Western powers, England, Great Britain, and France, to surrender part of Czech territory, the Sudetenland, the Sudet region, to Hitler. This opened the door to World War II, with millions of victims, with untold human suffering. That betrayal is known as Munich Agreement. And the parallel with Ukraine is glaring. I absolutely agree with Colonel de Bretton-Gordon that President Trump should be aware of it. What I do not agree with is that Donald Trump needs a history lesson. I don't think that Donald Trump is ignorant. I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think that anybody who climbs to the top of American political ladder, especially as high as Donald Trump, is mentally deficient. This is physically impossible. It is nonsense. I'm sure that Donald Trump knows full well that selling out Ukraine to Putin risks a major European war. And yet he pushes toward that outcome. And now the right question to ask is, why is he doing that? I think that the answer to that question lies in his slogan, "Make America Great Again." It implies that America was once great, it is not great anymore, and it needs to be made great again, and Donald Trump promises to do that. America first rose to global dominance right after the Second World War. At that time, Europe was lying in ruins, its industry was shattered, its armies were exhausted. Unable to compete, Europe had to cede its place as a world leader to the United States. And I think that Donald Trump is betting that after a new world war, history will repeat itself. Today, Russia plays the role of Nazi Germany. China is cast as the Soviet Union, and Ukraine as Czechoslovakia. It is a cynical, yet potentially effective calculation. However, there are a few things that it misses out. First and obvious is that this time Ukraine refuses to be a victim. Ukraine said no and mounted fierce resistance to Vladolf Putla. Second, and more important, is that if a third world war erupts now, the devastation will be total. There will be no Russia, no Europe, and no America left to dominate the world scene. And this is why this war must end. And it must end in Russia's defeat. Putin's regime must fall. And we cannot afford the delay. So, how can we help? The only way to help is by supporting Ukraine. It is the only country that stands between us and evil. Donate to Ukrainian armed forces. Choose your unit. My favorite is the Magyar Birds. Make your choice and start acting. Thank you.